Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Facebook Live. My name is Anita Gutierrez, and I'm here with Marlo Beauty. Thank goodness for her again, because this is my second time, and she brought me back. So I thank you for that, Marlo. And I am here in Birmingham, Michigan. Absolutely beautiful city. I am here in Nude the Salon, and it is an absolutely beautiful place, and I'd like to thank the owner for that. Thank you very much. Today we're going to talk about fall foliage. We're going to talk about hair color. Not a huge transition sometimes, but I'm going to tell you what it is to take a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette very subtly. Don't have to change them hugely, but I'm going to show you how to do that really quick and easy. And then I'm going to talk about diagonal, vertical, and horizontal placements of foil. It's really interesting because I'm going to show you why you would place them like that, and I'm going to show you a little bit of painting, but let me tell you what we're going to paint with. I'm very excited to be here representing Wella Color Charm. Wella Color Charm has a new lightener out. It is clay-based, which is so cool. It is got a 30 volume developer. You can use 30 and 40 volume, but I'm going to show you how to do some painting skills, and we're going to have fun today. But let me just stop right there, because I got a beautiful lady right here, Sharmika. She is from Atlanta. Say hi, Sharmika.
Yeah, welcome, everyone. Hello, I'm Sharmika, and I'm happy to be here as well with our beautiful educator, Anita. So please feel free to join us. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer any of your questions that you may have. And also, give us a shout out to your salon, and also tell us where you're from. Any questions, we're here. So let's tune in back to the educator.
Perfect. Thank you, Sharmika.
You're welcome.
Before we get into where the foil should be placed or whatever, let's talk a little bit about foliage. I know that we go through transitions. We go through transitions in summer, we go through transitions in fall, and we do in winter. But not everybody wants to be changed hugely. Blondes are blonde because they love to be blonde. Redheads, like me, I'm a redhead from now on to the ever. Brunettes, exactly same way. But what I'm going to tell you is such an easy way to transition them. Blondes that are icy white, they're beautiful. Adding a little bit of a gold violet toner on that changes it into a sandy blonde. That transitions the blonde so quickly. And you can use very light highlight, low lights, very easily way. A blonde does not have to go copper or brunette. You can stay a blonde, I promise. But just a little bit of transition helps. And remember, gold, a little bit of gold in hair, gold violet, adds a lot of shine to blondes. It's a beautiful tone. Again, those are blondes. Now let's talk about redheads transitioning. We are redheads because we like to be redheads. I love a redhead. And let me just tell you, I'm a level 3. Took me a long time to get this vibrant red. I love it. But I want to get transition, just a little change, not a huge change. So you know what I do? I smudge a root in. I smudge a deeper root. I do a 4V or a 4 double V or even a 4VR, depending on how deep they want to go. I smudge in the root. I keep this red, and there you got it. That's how you transition a red. And it's so funny that I did this, because I walked into the salon the other day and they said, "Did you go darker?" Nope, I just smudged in a root. It's just a quick and easy way to go with a redhead. Brunettes. Brunettes are in the sun all the time, also in the summer. What happens? They go flat, or they get highlighted and the dust doesn't go well with their color. So again, a gloss. A gloss is wonderful for a brunette. They don't want to change their darkness. You can add a richer gloss. You can add a lighter gloss. But listen, when you gloss with a little bit of gold violet, because it enhances shine and it takes that brunette in a dimensional tone without covering everything, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful little change. What do you think? Super. Okay, now let's go into why you're going to go with verticals. I'm going to grab my mannequin.
All right, so Anita.
Yes.
I know you're going to give definitely answers to any questions pertaining to why you're using diagonal and what are the great benefits of using our
Absolutely.
techniques.
Okay, thank you, Sharmika. Okay, at this time I'm going to show you my little model, but we are going to have a live one there, and I want you to see her transition. It's beautiful. Okay, here's my model, and what I've done, I want to show you something right here. You know what I call these right here? I call these money makers. These are baby lights. These are face framing highlights, okay? Once you put these, it brightens up the face. It adds a beautiful lightness to her eyes and her tone and her complexion. And these here make you money. I do most of my highlighting, most of my painting with face framing. It's a wonderful technique. Now, I'm gonna turn her this way. Remember we talked about diagonals? Remember we talked about horizontals? Okay, let me just show you why I use a diagonal. Okay, here's my model. She's got medium long hair. Now, again, I'm gonna come this way. I placed her foils diagonally, and I slice, okay? It's up to you how much color you want to show on your client. Slicing will give you really nice lines. It's great for face framing. You want to break it up, they're a little afraid, weave it. Don't be afraid. Sometimes I mix a weave, I go with a slice. I go with 2 slices, and I go with a weave. It's a great way to add color around their face. They love it. Now, remember, we did diagonals going this way, so diagonals are literally diagonals. Now, here, these are horizontals, straight across, straight lines. So, depending on how thick my client is, all textures are different. Some are finer, some are thinner, some are coarser, medium, whatever. But I always horizontal here, right at the top. And I most of the time do 2 of them. But this is my client. My client don't have enough hair, so one of them right on top just softens the line when she's finished. And I'm going to show you the finished product on another mannequin, and it just adds a little more softness to that tone. Okay, again. Yes.
All right, so we have a question. Do you use the vertical, diagonal, and horizontal foil placements in the same look?
Can I ask who asked that? What's her name? Do you know her name?
Nicole.
Nicole. Thank you for asking that, because I should have reiterated on this. Absolutely. You are the colorist. You are the one that looks at your client and knows exactly where you want to place the head. I actually do verticals, horizontals, and I do painting on the same head of hair. Now, that is a great question. So yes, you can use wherever you want that color to see. Remember, face framing should go horizontals. And let me tell you a little bit about that. Everybody that's got longer hair, whether it be male or female, pulls their hair up, okay? These will go up beautifully, diagonally. Now, if I place them straight across, horizontally, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have these lines, and you're gonna have this pull up, and you won't see that beautiful of the way the diagonal falls. Horizontals will be straight lines, right, like that. Does that make sense? I'm gonna just give my tray. Okay, let me just show you really quick. Remember, these are your money makers. Okay, let me just show you how to do that. I always don't hit this hairline. They don't want to see a regrowth right there. They want that a softer line. So just do what I call baby lights, face framing, however you want to say that. But what I do is I do 2 of them back to back, and I literally weave them very finely. I always weave around the face framing because it's a softer effect. And just remember, when you're doing chemically treated hair, this is really important, because this around the hairline is the most volatile, is the most, it will break, guys. Be careful. Don't put a lot of chemicals right around the front. It's the most softest part of the hair, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. So when you're doing around the face, Whether you have chemically treated hair, whether you have regular hair, do baby lights. It's a much nicer effect. So again, we're placing horizontally. Sorry, diagonally. I get mixed up. Here you go. So weave it. There's your baby fine. I want you to go ahead and weave it. Easy. So it's very fine, very soft. It'll be a soft blend of color. Okay. Don't be afraid to place your foil like that. I'm a stickler for very clean lines, because what happens when you get a clean line? There is nothing that's going to pull that apart. It's going to stay in place. It's very important when you're weaving. Again, Sharmika, what is this? This is diagonal.
Yes, diagonal.
Okay? Now listen, I'm sorry. Let me just say this really quick. When you're doing the root area, so important. Don't just leave a line there and go on. Don't do that, because that line's going to show. Remember, you've got to push it through. You've got to feather it. So when you're doing the root area, make sure you pull in that softness. Bring it all the way through. Yes, Sharmika. Sorry.
Yes. So we have Darlene who asked, suppose they don't wear their hair in the middle. So with this technique, you can wear it. Can you elaborate more on that as far as with different parting?
Absolutely. Always. And I should have gone over this prior. Client consultation, I don't care. We learned it in beauty school. You will learn it every day. Client consultation is so important. I always sit them down. And let me tell you something. Make sure you have enough time. You've blocked out enough time when you're transitioning or changing a client. Don't rush them. Those are your clients. So those are the people you're going to get coming back. Okay? Take your time. Ask them, where do they part their hair? Do you want face framing? Maybe they don't want you. Ask them. Explain to them. Pictures are huge. Me, I'm a Pinterest girl. Love Pinterest. So make sure of that you ask them where they part. Or do you normally part? Do you want to see any color around there? Ask them. They'll tell you. How's that, Sharmika? Good?
Yes, perfect. We have Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. What up?
Okay, so do you always work off of natural part for placement?
Very good question. Did you hear that? Do you always work off a natural part for placement? Pretty much, if that's a natural part, pretty much so you should work off that. But if they're versatile, if they have a little coarser head of hair, they can be more versatile in their parting. So I always ask them, do you always wear it on the side, or do you like it even? I put them in the middle, because whether they wear it in the middle that day, the face framing is going to show. And whether you wear it on either side, doesn't matter. It's even color. And let me tell you something, a little bit about something that. When you're placing foil like this, you do one side. Okay, I know we talk to our clients all the time, but try to stay on track, because there's nothing worse than not matching the sides. Have you ever seen that? I have. Okay, I've seen some of the clients, not mine of course, but I've seen them say, why is it lighter on one side? Make sure you're counting your foils. I mean, you don't have to be so precise. If their hair's thicker, it ain't gonna show. But listen, our clients don't always have thick hair. The diameter is thinner and finer. Make sure that when that happens, every line shows. So that is my point to that. Again, I'm going to place a diagonal. I'm going to slice it this time, just like this. I'm a slicing girl, but I make sure you can see through it. You get it too thick, that lightener is not going to penetrate it. It's going to be very tigery, and you don't want that.
Anita, can
Yes.
you talk about any difference between which one you prefer, or slicing or weaving?
What I prefer, what Anita prefers,
Or what are your
my favorite?
Your tip?
Okay.
Yes, your favorite.
My favorite, okay. I love color. I don't know if you can tell, but that is my passion. I've been in this business, I'm proud to say 30 plus years. I have a huge clientele and I love it. All ages. I'm still passionate and I love it. Let me just tell you something. You being here is huge for you. This is free education. Let's be serious. We didn't get that. Okay? So this is wonderful. But I love diagonals and I love slicing because I like, as you can see, I'm not afraid of color. Most of my clients, and it's funny, you become this hairdresser that people kind of tend to like, oh, you've got some red hair, you got bright hair, let's see what you can get me. I love that. I love doing that. So yeah, I like slicing. I like diagonal partings because I like color to show. Remember, these were diagonal. I get up to the top because I want a soft line. I want a soft line when it comes. I'm going straight across. And what am I doing? Horizontal. Boom. And I always weave that, and I weave it in a more medium because I want to see a few lines. I want to break it up. Yes.
Okay, so what products are, I'm sorry, how do you feel about the foiling comb?
The foiling comb?
Yes.
It's my favorite thing. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. When we do hair for so long, like me, you get these favorite combs. I can't tell you the name of them, but these are my favorites. I like an extra long one because I do a lot of longer hair. The shorter ones don't give me enough hair in there. I like the longer ones. Weave combs are your friend. Now, we're going to talk about Color Charm's new Lightner Clay-Based, okay? Comes with a dedicated developer, 30 volume, but you can use 40 with it too. What does clay-based mean? Clay-based means when you apply it, no need to put it in foils. It stays dry, so it doesn't bleed on any of the hair, and it stays wet inside. It's a great thing. You can leave it on the hair up to 30 minutes, no heat necessary, and it's really a great, great new idea from Color Charm. Now, let's talk a little about hair painting. Strategic foils is right around the front. I know exactly where her hair is going to fall. I like that. But the question was, can you change it up? Can you add verticals? Can you add diagonals? And you can also add hair painting in the same color. Let me show you why. I love hair that color goes all the way around. I hate it to stop in the front. You can't do that. You got to make color flow. Makes hair move more. So what I do is I take a parting, a V parting. Again, I'm going to paint in here. I'm going to have, hey, this whole freehand thing is funner than heck, but I've seen a lot of freehands that get a little too crazy. Okay, be careful when you're freehanding because, again, think about where you want this lightness to fall. I want it to fall right in here, and I want it to fall nice and thick so I can see it. So that's why I'm painting back here. I'm doing a slice technique. One more thing about hair painting. Tension is everything. Okay, let me show you why. If I did not, what's going to happen when I just do this? It's going to go all over the place and it's going to bleed on the other hair. Tension is everything, guys. Make sure you've got enough product on your brush. I love making my lines. I know exactly where they're going to fall, and make sure, and don't worry if you've got a clump, feather it out, feather it out. It's all about feathering it out, and I want to see a lot of color right in through here. So I'm going to do a nice thick painting. Freehand painting is so fun. You guys like it out there? Because I know I do. It just lets you be this creative colorist.
All right, so Anita.
Yes.
I have a wonderful question by Tracy Lynn from Michigan.
Hey, Tracy Lynn, what's up?
Smudging.
She from Michigan?
Yes.
You got a beautiful city here. Hold up, just really quick. I'm from California, born and raised. We don't get a lot of nice cold weather and rain. It rains. and it was a little chilly. I was excited. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All
I just had to
right.
share that.
Yeah, very exciting. If smudging the roots, how do you maintain your vibrant red after a few touch-ups? And then eventually, do you highlight the smudge when it's longer to redo backup?
Oh, I love it.
Wonderful question, right?
Let me tell you something. That's a wonderful question. Listen, when you're smudging a root, eventually, you're absolutely right. Your hair's going to grow. What's going to happen with that dark part? It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. So yes, I am a person that likes balayage even on redheads. This is how I get my brightness. I balayage it, lift it up, go back in and make it red, start again at the root. Great, great question. Did I answer that for her?
Yes. Great answer,
Come
yes.
back and tell me if I did, Tracy. Again, my name is Anita Gutierrez. Hey, welcome if you're just joining us. We're talking about fall foliage. We're talking about color. So I'm talking about transitioning blondes, redheads, and brunettes into fall color. And you know, I don't mean to transition every blonde into copper. It's not the way it's done. There are easy ways of doing that. So if you listened earlier, and if you didn't, there were some good tips on there. Where can we see this again? MarloBeauty.com. I understand this is even going to go on YouTube. That's exciting.
Yes, let's hop on to another question.
Yes, let's hop on.
You're doing painting.
I'm
so
doing painting.
You still use horizontal, vertical,
Okay.
and diagonal positioning
Here we go.
in freehand painting, or is it just for foils?
Perfect. Let's do this. Let me show you really quick. Great question. Look at this. Diagonals, right? This side's going to have color. This side's going to have color. What about this side? So I took a straight line, horizontal. Mix it up even in your painting. Wherever that hair is going to fall, you have to visualize it. Where's your client's color going to fall? Visualize it. Because once you start visualizing, your colors are going to come out beautifully. Again, tension. So here's my horizontal one. Feather it at the top. Bring it in. Tension. Diagonals, horizontal. Same head of hair. Remember, this is clay-based. No need to put it in foils. Take again your vertical. Don't worry about that hair hitting, because what's going to happen? It's going to dry outside and stay wet inside. Guaranteed. Okay, I'm going to leave hair in between because I'm going to soften it a little. Now I'm going to add my verticals again. I'm going to go with 2 verticals and a horizontal in the middle. Okay. Again, horizontal. Now, painting, tension. I can't reiterate this enough. Tension is everything. So you don't have to do such a big color right at the top. I don't like to see a lot of blonde here at the base, right up here, around to the head. I don't like to. So I'll take my tension and I'll make absolutely great lines where I want them to be. It's a little softer effect. It looks prettier when their hair's down and curled. Again, make sure when you're painting that underneath hair gets hit. Because if you don't, this hair is not going to be blonde. You've got to make sure you hit it underneath, put enough on those ends, and push it through, just like this. Okay, again, I'm going to go on this side, do the same, and then I'll do a horizontal. Then we're going to talk about some cool formulas that I used on my mannequin heads, right? So how's everybody enjoying this evening? Everybody good? I know I am. I love it here. Sharmika, we ain't got no questions.
We have some wonderful questions. Treatment, how do you keep the integrity of the hair while you're pre-lightening?
Perfect question.
Yes.
Okay, on my final model that you're gonna see, she's a live model, believe it or not. And we're gonna have a before and after, which I think is a huge difference, which I love. Like I said, you don't have to have a huge transition, but this one just happened to be. A lot of times, our clients, hey, they get color all year from us. They walk in and they've got this big root and they have all this color on the ends. Okay, there's no need to keep bringing blonde color through. This is great. Just go in and do your roots. Leave this out. If you're afraid the clay-based color is going to hit the root, add a little creamance on the ends. It protects it. It protects it, and it saves the integrity of the hair. Again, I'm going to take it. Tension is everything. I'm going to make 2 lines up here. Very soft. Make sure you feather it. Make sure you get that underneath. Get that brush. Clay-based stays dry outside but stays wet inside. So, and these are all great soft lines. But where's most of the hair color? Here. That's where I want to see most of the color. Perfect. Okay, now I always like a panel over it, so I'm just going to pull it over there. So like I said, foiling, you can do foils, you can do hair painting, you can mix diagonals, you can mix verticals, all on one head. Depending on what you want to see, makes it much funner. We're going to get her out of here.
All right, so continue to join us. For those who are just coming on to the set, watching Facebook with our educator, just please, whatever questions you have, go ahead and list the questions, any comments, and then also, if you do have any pro tips, go ahead and list them. And we will join you all. We will just share whatever pro tip you have. Like I said, give a shout out to where you're from. We love to hear that. So yes, let's continue.
Thank you, Sharmika. You know what? I want to give a shout out to where I'm from. Like again, I'm Anita Gutierrez. I am from California. Bye-bye. I want to shout out to my girls at the Hair Lounge in Cypress. Boom, boom. Hope you're watching. I love you guys. Okay, now, here's a little finished product. We talk about cinnamon browns and we talk about caramel highlights. Simply exactly the same diagonals as I placed on the model you just saw. Okay? Remember what I said, money makers? These are your money makers, people. They love this around their face. Strong, nice, soft color. Now, remember I talked about pulling your hair up? Watch this. See how that goes up? That goes up the way they put it up. They don't put it back here. They always put it on top of their head. So the lines are diagonally. They're going to go up just like that. Now, let's talk about the formula. Again, she's a level 6. I don't remember her name, but we'll call her Amelia, which I love. All right. This, let's say this is one of your browns that just browned out, have no life in it. Okay, let's make it a cinnamon. Let's do something cinnamony. We used Wella Color Charm. We used a level 3 RV, and I mixed a 5 WV together. And what I did is, remember, I wanted a deposit-only color. So in Wella Color Charm, it's 1:2 ratio in the mixing. But they don't have a 10 volume. Don't worry about it. You can make it. Equal parts of a 20 and distilled water can make a 10. So remember, in all of the color that Wella Charm has, it is 1:2 ratio. It's a great money saver when you're doing a lot of hair. So you're going to use 1 part color to 2 parts of the developer. This, I went in, again with diagonal, after I tinted it and lightened it. I went in and I toned her with the level 6 red gold. I wanted to keep the cinnamon in her hair. I think it's a beautiful fall color. What do you guys think? I'm loving it. Okay, this is a little easier here. My model, she was a level 6, didn't have to go in there. But she did want to go into a little bit of fall colors, so I made her caramel colors. And what I did was, again, same partings that I used on my model. I went in with diagonals. I did my money maker right here. Lifted her 20 minutes, 30 volume, and I went in with a 6NW, Wella Color Charm. Again, deposit color. You only need a 10 volume. You don't need a 20 volume, just a 10. So you can make it 20 volume, equal parts of distilled water, and there is your toners. Deposit only color. What do you think?
I think it's beautiful, Anita.
Thank you.
See definitely tell them you have two different colors and see how you're still in that autumn foliage look.
Right.
The caramel and the
Yeah.
auburn shade.
Either way.
Either
Burnt
way.
out browns make them cinnamony.
Yes.
They don't have to be ridiculously red. If they don't want to be, just change it a little, make them more cinnamony. Add a few lights in there. Tone it. It creates a totally dimensional look, which I absolutely love in color, and it makes it easy. What do you think? Good? All right, we're going to move her out now.
All right, so welcome everyone. Hope you're enjoying this free education. And like I said, continue. We have a few more minutes. Just continue to post your comments. And if you did not catch the video at first, the first part, if you're coming in late, it will be on Marlo Beauty Supply website. And also you can catch the video for what we're talking about today.
Super.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Look at my little sexy girl here. This is Destiny. This is my final model. This is Destiny. Again, clients that come in that have roots like this, her ends were so blonde, they were actually almost ashy. Okay, saving the integrity of the hair, there's no need to lift that, because remember, when you're dealing with much more warmer tones, and that I can't reiterate enough, for Wella Color Charm's toners or their warms are beautiful. This transitions this beautiful brunette that I made into a beautiful fall color without without hurting the integrity of the hair. Sometimes I enjoy having them with overly light ends. Don't worry about it, because this plays a great role in your color. If you're deepening it, it adds dimension that you don't even have to add. It's already there. So don't be afraid if you've got all this regrowth and you're thinking, what do I do with this blonde? Play with it. Don't be afraid of it. Put color on it, because it'll give you dimension in your own hair. Destiny, hi.
Hi.
Isn't she gorgeous? Again, what's this called here? It's my money maker right here. Gorgeous, right? Soft blend of colors. If you could just turn sideways. Beautiful fall color, right? It's a beautiful summer color too. But what I'm saying is soft blend of colors. Again, she was a level 4, okay? Roots had to be like this big. Ashy white ends. But look at, we toned her, and I used level 3 RV, and I used our 5 WV. Again, deposit only color. Her ends were so light, I didn't need to lift them. I needed to deposit. Again, Wella Color Charm doesn't make a 10 volume, not to worry. 1 part color, 2 parts 10 volume, make it. With the 20 volume, equal parts of distilled water, you want deposit only color, that's what it'll give you. And then we went in, which I love her little highlights here. Look at that, we toned them. Sharmika,
Yes.
we used 6NW?
Yes.
Okay, 6NW, neutral warm. That is a beautiful caramel color. You don't have to mix this. To mix this, 6NW gives you caramel. It's a neutral, and it's got a little bit of warmth to it, and it adds those beautiful hues to it. What do you think? It's gorgeous? Again,
Very gorgeous.
thank you. When she puts her hair up, watch this. She was so cute. She said to me, nobody's ever said that to me when I put my hair up. They didn't even never ask me. These are things you need to ask your clients. This is why we love our clients. Client consultation. When she now puts her hair up, what you seeing? Beautiful colors that go right up the way they should, right? And stay there. They're not in lines, but they go this way, diagonal. It's my friend. It'll be your friend too. But I think you need to see her before picture. Now, I understand they're going to have that posted, correct? Perfect. Oh, it's coming? Okay. Again, let me show you her back really quick. I went in and foiled this, right? Again, I mixed it up. I painted the back. Let me show you her back. Went in with these. I want a lot of color back here. I want a lot of movement. So I painted all this on. Painted it. Look at this. Now when she moves, her hair moves because she's got color back there. You notice the brightness. So I painted all her back. Used diagonals and horizontals here. Yes.
Yes, so we do have a caller. We do want the model to share how she feels about her hair.
Oh!
I think that's a great comment.
Oh, girl.
Well, because we can go on and on and talk about this beautiful hair, right, Anita?
Yeah.
So,
We can. And let me
Yeah.
just tell you, this is beautiful destiny. And she said, don't have to say anything. I
I
said,
know.
not at all.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I like that you put her on blast. All right, let's do this, Destiny.
I love it. I love that it's natural looking still. I love that it's a good transition into the fall. I loved my hair before as well, but it was definitely for the summertime. It was a lot lighter. I was in the sun a lot, so that's really what made it lighten up a ton. And she just fixed it, and she made it look beautiful in the way it should in the fall, and nice and dark. And I feel like myself. Is what I told her too. Yeah.
I love the fact that she says nice and dark, but not so dark that you look like you're, oh man, did you really get your hair dark? You still have the lights going through this. You don't have to transition them into black or a level 2 or a 3. She was a level 4. I kept her in a 5 because her complexion goes wonderful with the cinnamon brown. I think it does wonderful with the caramel highlights. I mean, beautiful. I can't wait for you to see the before picture because I'm excited about that. Again, guys, let's talk about transitioning really quick. Again, my name is Anita Gutierrez. We're talking about transitioning your colors into a little bit of fall. Not a huge transition, a soft transition. Doesn't always have to be. It could be a toner. It could be from going ashy, going to a little bit of gold violet. It makes a beautiful, beautiful sandy blonde. Redheads, smudge in a little root. Make them a little darker. It just gives them a different look without changing their overall effect. Questions?
So I believe if any other questions are coming in, we would definitely answer them.
And if you
With
don't
feedback.
have questions now, if you think of some later, if you look at this, make sure you ask your questions because they are going to be answered periodically. And we're going to go ahead and show you some great color here. If I've talked too much, I'm sorry, but let me tell you, that's a lot of information. Again, Wella Color Charm, balayage, Lightner Clay-Based, stays dry outside, wet inside, dedicated developer, 30 volume, and you can use a 40 volume with it too. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me. My name again is Anita. Sharmika, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you.
And thank you, Marlo Beauty. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, Nude the Salon, for having us here today. Thank you. Good night, guys.